Hey y'all, it's Misty coming to you October 9th, 2013. This is my 4.5 month slash, I think it's week 21. Maybe, I don't know, I don't have my chart. Anyway, I just wanted to do my weekly update. Today's Wednesday. I weighed in yesterday. I weigh in every Tuesday. My last video though was just on Saturday because I hit Wonderland, and so I was excited to share that. So I thought I'd update y'all today. I'm back home now. I'm no longer visiting family and staying in my parents' basement. So it's kind of nice to be back home. I loved being with family, but it's always nice to go home too. Be back with my husband. I missed him like crazy. So yeah, weighed in yesterday. Got in from traveling. I traveled over Sunday and Monday to get back here. It's a 16-hour drive. And yeah, I traveled by myself, no co-pilot. And so that, before I get to numbers, I just want to kind of explain things. Hang in there. These are not excuses, okay? I'm just wanting to give you a little background information on what's been going on. So Sunday and Monday drove 8 hours each. Gosh, it rained on Sunday when I was driving. Time stands still when you're in a car and you're driving in the rain at night too. I mean, like, surely 10 minutes have passed, and I look and be like, 1 minute on the clock. But, so that traveling over 2 days by myself gave me not only the liberty to do what I wanted to do as far as food-wise and travel-wise, but also the opportunity to test myself independently on traveling and sticking to the plan. So I packed not only all of my stuff, except for the reason why I don't have my chart is because it's still at my parents' house. I remembered everything from their house except my college textbooks and my folder with my charts in it. Remembered the pillow, remembered the laundry detergent, remembered, I mean, everything except for those things. So, which yesterday was also a measurement day for me too, and I did take those measurements, but I'm not sharing them with you because I don't have the comparison to be able to tell you how much I lost, so you got to wait for that. I will tell you that I think they were good. My guess is. So anyway, I packed a little 31 thermal tote with waters in it and a can of Planters Nutrition nut mix that's got pistachios and almonds and peanuts in it. And then decided I would stop for meals along the way. 8 hours each day. I ate before I left and then stopped for a meal and had snacks otherwise. And it worked out well. I mean, I do a catch-all place is what I do, a safety zone. And sometimes I think you have to do that so that you know you're going to continue to be successful. My safety zone is Subway. Most Subways serve, and and they're everywhere, so it's easy to do it. Most Subways serve breakfast all day now, and I get a 3-inch Subway Sunrise breakfast melt, and it's got the egg, turkey, ham, and their thin little bacon and cheese. I get it without the bread, which really throws off Subway workers. They don't know how to do a sandwich without bread. They freak out. So you kind of have to talk them through it and help them have some deep breaths. But I just have them heat it up and then stick it in a little container for me and give me a knife and a fork. Sometimes I get cucumbers with a little ranch on the side, but very seldom do I actually eat them. I just intend to because I like them. But yeah, a 3-inch version of that, just the meat and cheese only and egg only, and I'm full. That's about how much I'm eating right now. I'm still at about half a cup, I would say. Sometime in the mornings I'm less. But so that's what I did. Sorry, I'm getting some emails in. So that's what I did for my food on the first day. I ate Subway for lunch and then had my nut snacks. And then the second day I headed out in the morning instead of the afternoon, and I drove an hour to Panera and got a breakfast sandwich with no bread, which that's like a Panera sin, just like Subway no bread is a Subway sin. And theirs is a whole egg, and it had 2 little slices of cheese on it, like Swiss or provolone or something, cheese, and I ate that. So 1 egg with 2 itty bitty slices of cheese, and I was good. And then I had snacks, and that worked out really well. You know, I really pushed the water because I was worried, number 1, of water retention, and number 2, of go-go juice, you know. I was not used to traveling by myself, and I know in the past I was very dependent on like Diet Coke or Diet Dr. Pepper to keep me going with the caffeine. I have to say, it is amazing how much you don't need caffeine when you're not dependent on it. When you're pushing water and your body is running right, you don't need it. And that amazes people whenever they're like, what do you mean you don't drink anything with caffeine? I'm like, I don't need it. I don't. You know, I used to be dependent on it, and I've detoxed off of that, and I push water, and it's amazing. You don't need it. When you don't give it to your body to be dependent on it, you don't need it, you know. And so I went through, I want to say about 80 plus ounces of water each day traveling, which was good. I had 4 20-ounce bottles, and then when I got to like the hotel or home, I drank more that night or that day too. So just during the 8 hours of travel, I did 80 fluid ounces. I think that's awesome. I didn't have to go to the bathroom like crazy. I think my body actually uses the water, which is awesome. So things were good. I felt good from traveling, you know. Got home, was locked out of the house because, well, oops. Couldn't get the keypad on the garage to work, and I didn't have a key or garage door opener because I gave them to my husband before I left so that he could have them for the doggy sitter for when he went away for the weekend to go see my brother. Didn't think about all that ahead of time. Thought I could just use the keypad on the garage, but it didn't work right. So I was locked out of the house. Thank God my husband was able to leave work and come to my rescue. So I'm grateful for that. So obviously I'm in the house now, settled in, unpacked. Being gone 6 weeks is a lot. Like, I feel like I had to reacclimate, and I missed my husband like crazy. One of our dogs, we have an American Bulldog that's like probably 130 pounds now. Got huge in 6 weeks. He was so excited to see me. His whole butt was moving, and he couldn't sit it down because he has to sit to be petted. And it was just moving. It wouldn't stay on the ground, and it just kind of kept popping up and moving around, and he was trying so hard, and you could see, but it just wasn't working. Poor guy. So anyway, went to a social event with my husband last night. That was really good. I'll tell you about non-scale victories in a little bit. So weighed in yesterday. Was preparing myself. I'm like, maybe I should just weigh on Wednesday. I'm going to have some water retention, you know, from traveling. And I didn't sleep the entire first night back. I just didn't. I saw every hour roll around on the clock. My husband slept just fine. I did not. So I'm like, I didn't sleep, so my body's not refreshed. So, and then traveling, I know I'm retaining water. It's going to be a horrible weigh-in. And I was very fearful because when I talked to you all on Saturday, I weighed 199.2. And I'd just gotten into Wonderland. I was fearful that it was going to go the other direction. That's how it always goes with weight loss for me, you know. Just when I get it to where I want it and I'm happy about it, things are going good. It seemed like things would go in the other direction. And so I was fearful. Well, you know from watching my other videos, like with the blood drive one that I did, the blood donation, I've decided to just own up to whatever the number is on the scale because life happens and I need to learn to deal with all of that and work through anything that comes from life. And, excuse me. Sorry. So I went ahead and weighed it. Wow. Sorry, folks. So weighed in Saturday morning to Tuesday. I lost 1 pound. I'm down to 198.2. So that's exciting. I don't know what that is for the week because, like I said, I don't have my chart. I think it's about 3 pounds for the week again. Let me see here. I can probably scroll and see. Don't mean to waste your time. 1.6, 2.6 maybe? No, 1.2, 1.6, that's 2.8, plus another pound, 3.8. I guess I lost in 1 week total. I'll take it. Especially since it was the week I hit 75-pound mark, Wonderland, and managed to lose while traveling for 2 days. I'm excited. So my BMI, so that's the total, total, I get a little distracted. Total weight loss is 78.2 pounds, BMI of 31.0. Like I said, I did measurements, but not sharing them because I don't have that chart. Last night I went to that social with my husband for work, and it was the first time I was meeting a lot of his employees. He's a supervisor, IT project manager. And so, you know, being the boss's wife, I kind of wanted to look nice. So I was getting ready, picking things out. I had 2 shirts I was debating between. And I found myself going from between the 3 mirrors that I have in the master suite. I have one on the dresser, one on the wall that's a full length, and then the bathroom one, which is, you know, like the entire span of the double vanity. It's like huge, you know. I kept going between them because I'm like, do I really look that good? I couldn't believe that was my body. I felt so good when I would look in the mirror. And I'm like, is that really me? Maybe it's just the mirror. I'll go to another one, you know. So that was really exciting. And then I get to the work event, and one of my friends, her husband works with my husband. And I hadn't seen her in 6 weeks, and she was like, hey, oh my gosh, you left half of you back there at your parents' house. Like, what happened? I'm like, well, you get this half, give me a hug, you know. So that felt nice, you know. She really saw a huge difference. And if you think about it, 6 weeks, I've lost probably well over 20 pounds since she saw me last. And so that's really exciting. And then met several people that my husband works with, and most of them made comments that are very flattering in nature. I think my husband is the most handsome man ever, and I think everyone should feel that way about their husband. And so he, you know, I think he's very handsome. No one had really met me before, and they were making comments about, well, so a smart man always marries up and looks like you did, you know, and they're going, how did you find a catch like her? And, you know, things like that, kind of razzing him, but complimenting me. It was so nice to feel like that and to feel that way. I was very, sorry, my feet are making noises on the coffee table. I was, I don't know, not used to it, but at the same time, very accepting of the compliments. Tried to be humble about them and just kind of joke back and stuff. But inside, I was like jumping up and down, excited that they were saying those things. And one guy kept commenting, and I'm like, dude, look, you got to be careful because my husband probably doesn't want you making all those compliments. But it was such a nice feeling. And I felt good sitting there. So then I met a guy who my husband had worked with, and he had kind of slipped up to him that, well, the guy had told my husband he had bariatric surgery. Come to find out he had the sleeve, and my husband thought, all right, then why aren't you eating right? Because they were having lunch and supper together over a couple days, you know, and so my husband decided to tell him that his wife had surgery and had great success with it and loved it, and she was really sticking to the plan. He was hoping to inspire him. And his intentions were the best. But my husband told me, he's very honest with me, and I said, as much as I feel like you intended to do good, and you were proud of me and wanted to use that to inspire him, you can't do it. I asked you not to tell anybody. This is a personal thing for me. This is how I choose to do it. Other people choose to tell people. That's their personal choice. I am not comfortable with that. Seriously? Sorry. My sister. So he felt really bad. I didn't intend to make him feel bad, but I needed him to know that I didn't want him to tell anybody. My husband's just so supportive. He thought he was being inspirational to that guy by telling him a little bit about my journey. And so the guy was there last night, and my husband had not gotten a chance to tell him, hey, look, I'm sorry. I forgot that she, I wasn't thinking when I told you, that type of thing. Keep it hush hush. The guy comes up to meet me, and he's a little socially awkward. I could tell right away. And he's like, we need to talk. And I was like, well, I hear that a lot, I'm thinking, I said, oh, should we sit down? He's like, no, not that much. I had bariatric surgery too. And I'm like, dude, this is not a public conversation, So I kind of pulled him aside, and I'm like, oh, you wanted to talk to me? I said, oh, come on over here, we'll talk. And kind of turned away from everybody else. And I'm like, I don't really share it with people. I'm more than happy to talk to you, but it's kind of a private matter for me. So I'm more than happy to talk to you one-on-one, but in a social setting, I really don't want to share the information with other people that are here. I said, so what kind of questions do you have, or where you at in the journey, blah, blah, blah. He's 5 weeks along, and he's eating everything I'm eating, and was full of excuses. That's why my husband tried to inspire him. And you all know from my other videos that I believe in commitment to this. I believe in changes. I believe in tough decisions and tough conversations with yourself. And that this is not something you embark on lightly, and it's not something for an easy fix. My success comes from my dedication. That's, and from God's grace, honestly. But I was like, oh, okay. And he says, yeah, traveling, kind of stinks. And I was doing really good on weight loss, and then I started traveling, and it's just kind of, I said, well, it's very important that you plan ahead. That's the best advice I can give you with traveling. And I said, I understand. And kind of talked to him a little bit about that. Told him that he has to plan even for trips to the grocery store. Take your bottle of water. If you know you're going to be gone to multiple errands, grab a snack, And he's like, well, there's not a whole lot I can eat. Grab a protein drink. Go to a gas station and get a protein drink. Most of them will carry something. Most grocery stores carry cheese sticks too, And I know he can have that. Well, he's eating like solid foods now anyway. But like solid foods that I can eat. So anyway, I tried to tell him that, and I told him, I said, the best thing that you need to keep in mind is that you need to be committed to the program and work it. All the basics they tell you, stick with them. This program is developed off of what makes people successful. So if you want to be successful, you need to work this program and stick to it. Plan ahead and everything. He's like, well, I'm not a planner. I said, well, you might need to become one. Think ahead. I'm like, how many excuses are you going to give me? Dude, I've been through this. I know your journey is not my journey, but I can tell you that what I do know is sticking to the program. There's safety in that, for number one, if you're looking for something with safety. There's success in it, and there's support in it, And so I wasn't harsh or mean or anything to him. I tried to be inspirational and supportive. He said it was good to meet me and that he did appreciate my support and that he wanted my support. I told him, look, if you ever have any issues, tell my husband that you want to get in contact with me. He'll let me know, and we'll chat. I'm more than happy to take time for you. I just felt like he wanted to blame his lack of recent unsuccessful moments on circumstances, on life. Life happens, and like I said, I own up to my weekly weigh-ins. And when I had that gain, I had to own up to it. And just like yesterday, no matter what that scale was going to say, I had to own up to it, because life does affect us, and we have to learn to work through that. And if you're not willing to work through that, you're not going to be successful, And that's just the tough reality of it. And so anyway, off the soapbox, those of you who haven't had surgery yet, please listen to the reality of things I'm saying, because I'm a realist when it comes to some of this, and I think you need to know the reality of it and have those tough decisions and tough conversations with yourself in a real sense. It's not all fairies and rainbows, and if you're looking for a quick fix, this is without making those tough decisions, you're not getting it. This is not a quick fix. I make the decision to exercise. I make the decision about everything that goes in my mouth. I make the decision about how I deal mentally with any struggle, So If you're not willing to do that, then you probably need to reconsider some things. You need to think about this. And so anyway, to those of you who have had surgery and are struggling, hang in there. Have those tough talks with yourself. Make those tough decisions each day. It is so worth it. And I told that guy last night, this is one of the best decisions of my life. I would do it again in a heartbeat. And he says, that's what I hear people say. He says, but I'm not feeling it. I said, work the program. And between months 2 and 3, you're going to start feeling the same thing that I have right now. That happiness about this decision. And so, excuse me, burping my water as usual. So to those of you who are struggling, be bold. Be confident in your ability to master this thing. Remember, you don't have to be perfect at it. You just need to be really good. Don't beat yourself up over all this stuff. Just be real with yourself. I think that is a deception sometimes that we allow ourselves to believe in, is the lies we tell ourselves each day, or the lies we allow others to tell ourselves, like it's okay, or you're not fat, or things like that. And we develop this alter reality. I think that we need to stop buying into our own deceptions we create, and we need to be real. And that's the hard part sometimes. So I think that I know that actually that no one can dispute my dedication to this, and no one can dispute all the changes, the positive changes I have chosen to make in my life and in my health. And I feel awesome. And I praise God for the ability to do that. I couldn't have done this without him. He's the one that's provided me with all of the avenues to get the surgery and to be successful in the surgery and be dedicated and have a good support system. So those of you that are being successful, I'm sure you can share in some of this with me, the commitments and things like that, and the work it takes to be successful. And the fact that we do have rough days and we have to work through them, And I just want to congratulate you all on your success, those of you. And those of you that struggle, don't forget to rejoice in those little successes. Don't forget to rejoice in that and build yourself up. Don't we beat ourselves down so much. Build yourself up. You're worth it, So anyway, enough of the rant. I hope it inspires you a little bit. If you have questions or anything, message me or whatever. But I'm feeling great, and I want everyone else to feel that too. So you all hang in there. Keep on keeping on, and I will talk to you all soon. Sorry for the long video.